Welcome to Kansas Speedway. I'm Kevin Lee. We're getting set for the Firestone Indy Lights Kansas 100. This young man won last week at Long Beach. He won here last year, as we've documented. JR, you had a rough second race at St. Pete. You feel like you're back on track and ready to make a move towards the championship?
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of a rough weekend at St. Pete, really. We just had some electrical problems with the car that we never really caught up to until after the second race was over. So, we kind of rebounded in Long Beach, got back on form on the road courses, and had a pretty good qualifying effort yesterday. We qualified early. Car was a little bit loose, so, we ended up fourth on the grid here, but I think we've got the speed to be up front, so we'll see what we got later on.
J.R. Hildebrand will start fourth. Now the men that will be calling this race. Let's check in with Mike King and Ari Lyondike Jr.
Well, Kevin, certainly wind will be one of the factors these drivers will be dealing with this weekend. Ari Lyondike Jr., you've raced here 4 times. When it comes to oval racing, experience is very important.
Yeah, definitely, and today it's very, very windy, so that's going to be another factor in our race. Experience definitely has its way of rising to the top here in the ovals. It being our first oval race, 13 drivers have never taken a start on an oval. We're looking at the guys in the front have the experience. Let's see if it pays off today.
Well, rookies have dominated in the first 3 events of the season. In fact, 4 of the top 5 positions in points belong to rookies, but veterans right now looks like they're going to be the drivers to watch. 2 of the top 3 spots belong to veterans on the grid, including Wade Cunningham, who's on pole, and he's downstairs with Kevin Lee.
Wade, first, what kind of impact is the wind going to have?
Well, it was pretty windy yesterday, but not this windy. I think it's going to make passing maybe easier into the headwind and worse out. I think we're going to be in between gears a little bit, especially to start with, until the fuel load burns off. So, it doesn't really change my game plan, which is to try to stay out front.
The first 3 races, you have not been where you have been accustomed to being. Do you feel like you are ready to now really make a move?
Yeah, no, the first session here didn't go as well, but we were pretty quick in the second. We were second quickest, and then we got the pole for qualifying, so that was a big confidence boost for the team and myself. And definitely this is where we think we belong. So hopefully we're going to use this race as a turnaround and go from here.
Have a good one.
Thank you a lot.
That's our pole sitter, Wade Cunningham.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
24 cars set to make up the field for this, the 4th race on the 2009 Firestone Indy Lights schedule. Here's a look at the lineup. Wade Cunningham, the 2005 Series champ. He had not qualified in the top 10 the first 3 races. He's on pole. Sebastian Saavedra, he is the only rookie starting in the top 4. What about Ari Lyondike Jr., the keys to this one here today? First oval of the season.
Well, we touched on it in the open. Basically, experience is going to be a big part of today's race. It's very windy out there today. Competition's going to be really close. The guys have an edge who've been here before, and all these conditions are really definitely a factor. So the second key would be timing the pass. This is a definite art, and a lot of the experienced drivers know how to do this. It's very difficult to not lose your momentum while timing a pass. So these guys, they all want to protect the bottom, but as you said, heard Wade say, the wind's going to be a condition. You might hit the limiter, you might have an advantage on one side and not the other. So the next one is the conditions. Obviously, it's extremely windy here today. It's going to play a part. With the wind affects the gearing, affects how you can make passes happen. And last night it rained, so the track should be pretty slippery. Pretty green track, so all the grip that's built up is gone now.
Cunningham, he is the driver, and it looks like there will be no start. So explain that, Ari. When you're ready to take the green flag, they have to look not just at the pole sitter, but they have to look at the entire field and how they are aligned coming to the green flag.
They want the field to be organized 2 by 2, and if they feel like it's spread out or if it's not exactly to form, they want to make it equal for everybody. And obviously the inexperience of all these drivers to first start on an oval, so they're going to try to line up, try it again, and see if we can get a green.
Wade Cunningham is on the gas, and he will take the point as they come to the green flag this time, Ari, and it will be the veteran Wade Cunningham who will lead him into turn number 1.
Now look at Anna looking to the bottom right here. I don't think she's got it done, but you got JR, who's really experienced working on the high side.
Now keep in mind, JR Hildebrand is He's fighting for that championship lead, coming off of the win last weekend at Long Beach. He's currently 7 points back in the championship chases. Anna right now going side by side with J.R. Hildebrand into turn number 3.
Harrington making a really good move on the high side here. He's moving up the field.
Sebastian Saavedra. Now, let's keep an eye on him in the other AFS Andretti Green car. He has never raced on an oval, yet he runs second right now. Had a very strong qualifying effort as well as he started on the outside of the front row. Ari, when you talk about the draft, what is Sebastian Saavedra feeling in the car as he runs just off the rear wing of that Lucas Oil machine?
Right now you can see him kind of head to the outside. He's going to get more air on the front wings, and this will definitely help the grip level. Oh, we have an accident.
Problem early. That's a big hit. And
Jesse Mason, it looks like.
We will get that confirmed here momentarily, but that a lot of damage to the front of that car. You see the nose laying over. We've had an incident earlier in practice on Saturday where we saw Allie Jackson get into the wall, but it is Jesse Mason, and we're also being told the 36 is off the track. So the 36 car also involved with Richard Philippe, and Philippe was involved
with that incident yesterday. So you know, we'll have to get a replay on what happened, but.
Welcome back to the Firestone Indy Lights Kansas 100 on Versus, still under caution as the cleanup is just about wrapped up for the incident involving Jesse Mason and Richard Philippe. Ari Leindyke Jr., tell us what happened.
Well, basically here, if you look in the back of your screen, we'll highlight it for you. There you go. We'll have that's Jesse Mason spinning right there. If you notice, the 3 cars ahead of him are all kind of fanned out, so he might have just lost the air on his front wings and caused the car to spin. And here we have another view of you know, after the incident, but it looks like Richard Philippe might have been a bystander there.
Just like the practice incident where Richard Philippe got caught up with yet another Guthrie Meyer racer, Allie Jackson. So it's been a tough weekend for Guthrie Meyer, been a tough weekend for Richard Philippe as well. Jesse Mason, 24 years old, out of Niagara Falls, Ontario. Good news is he's out of the car and he is okay. So despite the hard hit, Ari, the car did its job, and Jesse Mason will race another day as we get
Saavedra making a really good move here and a really good restart. He might even get it done. He got it done.
Wow. In turn number 1 on the restart, Sebastian Saavedra may have never raced before, Ari, on an oval, but man, he handled that restart like an old pro.
That was a great move. You know, Wade Cunningham, one of the most experienced guys here. Obviously, the pole sitter has the advantage on a restart. Now we look at Romancini making a move on the bottom.
And Daniel Harrington on the high side, 3 wide through turn number 3 as some great racing breaking out behind the leaders. Anna Beatrice there running in front of Romancini. As right now, Sebastian Saavedra, the rookie, out in front, but here comes the old veteran, Wade Cunningham, going side by side, Ari, and this is what oval racing's all about.
Exactly. What a great view here. Here we're side by side on the back straightaway. It looks like Wade has a little bit of momentum, but the bottom's obviously the shorter way around, so it's going to be the advantage. And you actually heard Wade right there hit the rev limiter, so they are fighting with the gearing here with the wind conditions.
Richard, first, we're glad to see that you're okay. You've been caught up in bad luck 2 days in a row now. What happened from your perspective?
The car in front of me just kind of lost it, and I had really nowhere to go. I was building my confidence slowly, you know, but you know, that's the way it goes. I was in the same situation that the car in front of me was yesterday. I was lucky enough that there was nobody that close to me, but we still came together, and today I was the guy giving it. So it's unfortunate, but that's motorsports, you know.
Glad to see you're okay, and we'll see you at Indy.
Thank you. See you there.
That's Richard Philippe. His brother Nelson, by the way, was just back here, and he was confirmed in the last few days for a ride for the Indianapolis 500 with HVM Racing.
We've got a great battle up front, Kevin. That is for certain, as right now Sebastian Saavedra has gone back to the point, and here comes his teammate, J.R. Hildebrand, right now as he's trying to close, but Ari, he loses momentum there in 4.
Got a big understeer trying to get underneath Wade there.
Oh, and another crash. That's Allie Jackson. That is Allie Jackson. This is a brand new, and another car trying to avoid it has gotten upside down. Another big incident as Allie Jackson had already made contact. Another car slowing. That might be Sergei Makshantsev, and I believe it is. So Makshantsev goes to the high side. How about that?
Wow, he jumped out of that car quick.
So the ride of a lifetime for Sergei Makshantsev as he is down on one knee, but Ari, he's okay. Out of the car very, very quickly after a frightening ride.
And that's definitely adrenaline. You know, if something like that happens, you just want to get out. And actually, that's the number. Is that the number 3 car? It's hard to tell right here from this perspective, but big accident. We'll have to see what happened, but man, that is just so unfortunate for these guys who have a replay, so let's check it out.
My goodness. And all of these drivers making their first starts on ovals. There's the initial hit by Ali Jackson, Ari, and what comes next is scary indeed for Sergei Makshantsev.
It looks like, you know, we don't really see the first part of that, but this next accident happens a lot later, so it obviously was yellow already. So maybe Barbosa slowed down, and Makshantsev didn't see that coming, and then went over the back of him. That could be one of those incidents.
Here's another angle from outside as the cars approach turn number 4. And Ali Jackson, big contact, and it looked like, as you mentioned, Makshantsev, it appeared he climbed up and over the rear tires of Barbosa, as perhaps Barbosa saw the incident, got on off the gas, on the brakes, or at least slowed down his momentum drastically. But perhaps Makshantsev simply did not see Barbosa slowing in time to be able to avoid that incident.
Now we have 3 tools in the car. We have our dash lights, which go yellow. We have our radio, obviously the flag man. So we have all those 3 tools to kind of go off of when the thing goes yellow. When the track goes yellow, you just need to release off the gas pedal. You know, obviously assess the situation. The spotter will tell you what's going on, and that might have been an incident where you know, he didn't really get the news quick enough, or he didn't react to the yellow flag quick enough.
Well, for anyone who does not believe that oval racing is a different monster as compared to street and road course racing, Ari, this is a perfect example. All 3 of these drivers involved. In fact, the first 5 drivers involved in incidents here, all rookies to oval racing.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway for the Kansas 100 and Firestone Indy Lights. I'm Kevin Lee. Sebastian Saavedra is our leader. We're under our second caution of the day. The second, Ali Jackson was involved. That was a nasty hit, especially behind you. Tell me what you saw from your perspective.
Well, I think I was the first car to spin going into the corner. It might have caused a chain reaction. I'm not too sure what happened behind me.
You're okay?
Yeah, fine. Just a bit knocked about, but not racing. Okay,
Ali Jackson, good to see you're okay. Involved in a couple of hits this weekend. Mike?
20 years old from Belfast, Northern Ireland, and a shame to see him involved in not 1 but 2 incidents this weekend, hoping to build on that 6th place finish last week at Long Beach. But as he mentioned, Ari, that's racing, particularly on an oval.
Yeah, for all these rookies here, seeing all those tire marks on a car upside down, it's got to make you nervous.
4 of the 13 rookies in the 24-car field are out of this one. We are happy to report that everyone is okay. Another good-looking restart for Sebastian Saavedra, and right now our 2nd place driver, and that of course is Wade Cunningham, just trying to hold off another rookie, Mario Romancini.
It looks like Wade's not really getting good restarts here. I don't know if he chose the wrong gears for coming up to the green, but Romancini doing a great job here in 3rd place.
Wade is now back up to full song, and here comes Daniel Harrington on the outside as he tries to challenge Anna Beatriz, running just in front of Beatriz. J.R. Hildebrand, the winner last week, led every lap, Ari, at Long Beach, and certainly J.R., who won here a year ago, has a lot of momentum on his side.
Exactly, and you know, we're looking at Daniel Harrington. He actually started 12th as we take Romancini, and he took a look to the outside, but couldn't get it done, so he slotted back in. But this group right here of 6 cars is pretty close. Looking at right now, it's kind of settling in. Everyone's kind of feeling out their cars after that yellow.
By the way, Jesse Mason, who was involved in the first incident as we were working lap 3, Jesse has been cleared from the medical center, did have precautionary x-rays, but he is okay. On board with Wade Cunningham side by side as we saw Romancini trying to pull alongside. And Ari, we talk a lot about the draft when you run nose to tail, but there's also a draft to talk about on super speedways when you're running side by side.
Well, it's not as prominent. Obviously, the draft nose to tail is big, and he made that move, and he did have enough time to slot back in, and that's just one of those things. He timed it well. He tried. He couldn't get the momentum built up enough to get around, so he had time enough to come back in and slot into that draft. So now we're looking at Wade pull up on Saavedra and make
nice run.
He's got a good run here.
Side by side, those wheels locked together. Wade Cunningham on the high side, Saavedra on the low side, and Romancini, he's going to get into this battle as well as they pull up. Great shot from Wade Cunningham's car here, the Lucas Oil machine.
He's on the limiter here, and you see Romancini pulled right behind Saavedra, and that's helping Saavedra. It's pushing him forward, and it's actually, now you can see Saavedra has the advantage.
So Saavedra on the inside, that obviously is the shortest line around this racetrack. But Ari, if you can get the momentum built on the outside, you're going to be able to equal speed-wise what they're doing. And in fact, we're talking about speeds approaching 190 miles an hour, right at 186. And look at that four-car pack.
Yeah, this is a great group here. We got 2 experienced drivers on the top, 2 rookies on the bottom. So that's pretty interesting. And I got a bank on Wade and Anna. Oh, we have a spin behind us, Gustavo Jacquemin.
And he saved it. How about that? And that is rare right there to save it, and the yellow will come out. But Gustavo Jacquemin makes a great save, and that, Ari, on a super speedway is something very rare to see a driver come out of a turn 4 at a super speedway like Kansas after having gotten it sideways like a sprint car on a dirt track. Here's a look at, as we watched, they were going side by side. It was he and Jay Howard.
He's on the high side here, and he just loses it. Wow, he just missed Kimball. That was actually Kimball on the low side. Just clears the wall. He has a little bit left front wing damage here. Ooh. You can kind of see. And here we get another look at it.
My goodness. And he came oh so close to the outside wall there. And you're right. It looks like the end plate on that front left wing is damaged just a bit. The driver, or the owner, the current owner that drove in the first Firestone Indy Lights 100 here.
Great battle here.
Yep.
We got Romancini on the top. He's working it. He's been on the bottom pretty much all race. Now he's working the top as Anna goes to the low side.
Interesting how Saavedra and Cunningham were good enough on that start to break away from Romancini and Anna. I mean, that's a big break here on this restart lap.
So we have a lot of different tools, and a lot of the experienced drivers will be better at managing those tools and making the car better over a long run. So let's see if Wade can challenge Saavedra here for the lead. Great move.
Side by side, Cunningham on the outside, Saavedra, the 18-year-old from Bogota, Colombia, on the inside. This is the battle for the lead.
Look at his hands. Look at this. Wade had to lift. Saavedra got a little bit of understeer, almost slid up into Wade, and he had to lift.
Saavedra holds off the veteran for now. And we've got another incident.
Pablo Donoso.
So Pablo Donoso, the veteran, former winner in Firestone Indy Lights competition, finds himself in the wall as our third caution. Sean Guthrie just missed it. So Sean Guthrie manages to avoid the situation, but that's bad news for Pablo Donoso. Ari, here's a look at what happened to Pablo Donoso.
Here's on the high side. Everything looks to be good. He might have come down on Hinchcliffe. Yep, there we go. He came down a little too much on Hinchcliffe. Actually damaged Hinchcliffe's wing. Oh, there's an oil fire. That's whoa, looks dramatic, but Sean Guthrie also caught up in that.
But he missed him. He didn't make any contact. And one of the Palm Beach International Raceway cars, it was either Kimball or Howard that got through there unscathed as well. I wonder if when they touched wings, if it cut down that left rear.
That's definitely possible. That happens so fast. Those wings, those front end plates are so sharp, actually. They've changed them over the years to round the front of them, but they still cut a tire pretty easily. And that's one of those situations where Pablo didn't give Hinchcliffe enough room. Hinchcliffe tried to go as low as he could, but he was alongside that white line, and you can't cross that white line. So definitely not Hinchcliffe's fault. Pablo just needed to give him more room.
Restart. Sebastian Saavedra with 40 of 67 laps being shown complete. Good restart here for Saavedra as he gets about a 3-car length cushion between himself and second place Wade Cunningham. Anna Beatrice and Mario Romancini, those 4 drivers, Ari, those have been the guys out front since the drop of the green.
And Wade's making a move here in the headwind, so let's see if it pays off. See, he actually was not a good move because now Anna's on his low side, so let's see if Anna can improve the position.
Romancini trying to decide, do I go with Anna or do I go with Wade?
I would stay low, go where the momentum is. Right now Anna's got the momentum with that really good restart that she had. Wade is struggling on the restarts. I mean, it might be a question of gearing or the headwind.
Says we see someone running behind Wade who very nearly got into the wall. 17th through 20th, as you see on the right side of your screen, 3 wide. And
Somerton on the top here. Oh, look at that. And then you saw that car get loose right in the middle, and that was just a factor of being in that 3-wide battle. Somerton with a new sponsor, Doug Mockett, who sponsored his car for this event. He didn't even know if he was going to be here, so struggling with the budget a little bit. Hopefully he can move up the field.
To work with the driver as opposed to working against him, going try to make the pass now, try to catch up to the guys using the draft as an advantage for both cars.
Yeah, right now it's we got a long way to go in this race. Why not just work together, get to the lead group, and then duke it out?
Yeah, so you've got to wonder, Daniel Harrington only making his 3rd start on an oval, is that just simple inexperience? The fact that he's not realized, Anna Beatrice, a great save by Anna Beatrice in turn number 2.
That was amazing.
And actually, that was turn 4 where Anna made that save. And we have seen 2 great saves, but Anna's going to lose a lot of momentum here. And here comes Cunningham and Romancini.
Wow, that was amazing.
Wow.
She got so sideways through that corner. She definitely had earned her salary right there. She did great on saving that car.
We saw Gustavo Jacobin make a great save earlier. You don't see that very often, and we've seen it twice here today at Kansas Speedway, Ari.
Yeah, it looks like she pretty much kept her foot in it and got the thing sideways, but lost the momentum, obviously. Now she's dropped back to 4th.
Have a look-see right here. Here's the replay. Anna Beatrice in that healthy choice car. And Ari, wow. That's a save and a half.
Yeah, that doesn't look too, I guess, from the outside looking in, but I can tell you right now as a driver, that was huge.
Along with Ari Lyondike Jr. and Kevin Lee, I'm Mike King. Welcome back to the Firestone Indy Lights Kansas 100 on Versus. Yet another caution, 6th of the afternoon. At the line as you see them coming across start-finish, 65 laps are complete. Ari, once again, the problem in turn 3 and 4, and here's what brought out this 6th caution flag.
The car on the top here, number 63, Dylan Battistini. He's working on Prendeville. It looks like he just gets loose, and he collects Pippa Mann. And this has got to be a factor of the wind. We've seen so many accidents in this same corner. And basically, they have a tailwind on the back straightaway. And then when they turn into the corner, they're going to get understeer. So they're going to add more steering input. And then what happens was, if you come around the corner, you're going to get wind on the front nose. It's going to pin the nose. It's going to swing the back end around. And, you know, we saw Anna get loose. We saw Gustavo get loose. We've seen all these incidents in turns 3 and 4. And it's unfortunate.
Pippa Mann had nowhere to go here, though, Ari. No, certainly not her fault. Simply caught up in Dylan's incident.
Exactly. Caught up in his incident. There's no way to slow down in that amount of time. There was nowhere for her to go.
Okay, so we'll come to the line completing 66, and we await to find out how this one's going to finish out, Kevin Lee.
It looks like we're going to finish under yellow. There's been no indication down here. The wind, by the way, has been heavy all day. It started at 19 miles per hour out of the south, gusting to 33, but right at the time when Anna Beatrice lost it, had her moment, the wind had just picked up. It also has continued to gust since then. It is significantly windier than it was at the beginning. It's getting cooler. Junior Strauss said when he had his moment, I have no idea what happened. It just snapped. I think it was probably the wind, and we are going to finish under yellow with the white flag displaying.
Well, the AFS team won a week ago at Long Beach, and they're going to win this one under yellow, and it's going to be a rookie, Ari Lyondike Jr. Believe it or not, we talked about experience, but Sebastian Saavedra, all 18 years old, he's going to wind up taking the checkered flag in his first oval start.
Talk about a great day. I mean, he had a really good restart, which put him into the lead. He basically controlled the pace, and now we see him with the victory.
The next stop for him will be the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's going to be his 2nd oval race. And, of course, the IndyCar Series also heading to Indy for the 93rd running of the 500-mile race, the Indianapolis 500. Pole Day comes your way Saturday, May the 9th, with coverage starting at noon Eastern Time, a full slate of coverage right here on Versus. Hope you're going to be with us from beginning to end of the month of May, one of the greatest traditions in all of motorsports. Delphi's safety team tried as hard as they could to get this 2-car incident cleaned up. A lot of fluid on the racetrack. It just wasn't going to happen. Sebastian Saavedra in tow there behind the Honda pace car, and he's got the fist in the air, and there are the twin checkers as Sebastian Saavedra will come across the line as the leader. So that's back-to-back wins for the AFS team. And we talked about Gary Peterson.
That's great.
He was here in 2002 for the first Firestone Indy Lights event. By golly, today he wins it as a team owner.
Shoot, I thought definitely JR would have the advantage here in that team, but Saavedra's been quick obviously the whole event, and you see him come away with the win with that awesome restart, so I'm really happy for him.
So the last restart, let's give him the nod, because he absolutely got Wade Cunningham on that one, as Sebastian Saavedra will win it. Wade Cunningham winds up 2nd.
The 18-year-old from Columbia, Sebastian Saavedra, climbing from his race car. 2 in a row for AFS. Andretti Green Racing. His first start on an oval puts him in victory lane. Sebastian climbed down here. Tell me about the restarts. That's what got you the win, and you had to hold off Wade on several.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy. I can't believe it. It's been great. I think the restart, it's perfect timing for every restart. And I don't know. I just got the perfect timing behind Wade. I think I was able to pull my gear a little bit faster than him, getting into the first corner. From then on, it was just history. The car was great. I think the guys did a great job with the car. It was just unbelievable. Firestone Firehawks were unbelievable during the whole race. I didn't have any problem with them, so I'm just happy. Like, this is for the guys.
Congratulations. Heading to Indianapolis with a win, Sebastian Saavedra.
And he'll head there third in points on the strength of this win. Jonathan Somerton winds up with the points lead on the strength of a 7th place finish here. Junior Strauss drops to 2nd. James Hinchcliffe 4th, tied with J.R. Hildebrand. So an exciting 4th race. Unfortunately, it winds up under yellow. Coming up next, it's the Kansas IndyCar 300. Join us Friday, May the 22nd for the Firestone Indy Lights Freedom 100. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. For more information on IndyCar, log on to Versus.